everybody, Sarah and Millie here. I am here to talk about, she's already going to be feisty. Today I am here to talk about 4 different moves that we can do if we want to build up our strength and if we don't have any equipment. So this is for you if you have nothing but yourself. These moves can be modified and I'll talk about each of them, but I won't get ahead of myself. What are you doing? You're freaking me out. So let's get started. Okay, so the first move I'm going to talk about is a plank. When we plank, we are working our abdominal muscles, and we are not necessarily changing length of our muscles in the plank, but we're adding a lot of intensity because we're using our body weight. The plank is a great move to start with because we're asking everything to wake up. We do have multiple variations of push-ups. We could have different... Would you just flick on the ground? You're gross. We could have different types of push-ups, whether we have our arms further away or parallel. If we want to have a bench and bring our upper body onto the bench, we could bring most of our weight into our feet. We could also intensify this more drastically by not only being flat, but lifting our feet up and putting them on a bench. So there are many ways we can modify and change up this push-up. Let's move on to our next move. Similar in the plank position and with the push-up, I love a protraction and retraction. I know I've talked about it before. We are isolating movement in our thoracic spine, bringing each scapula toward the spine, back to neutral, away from the spine, back to neutral. This is a moment where we keep the lumbar and all of the lower abdominal muscles protected and tight, and the movement is only near the thoracic spine and the appropriate muscles. We can do the protraction and retraction with no intensity, being in a quadruped position. We could also add a plank to this to add the intensity and really build up our serratus anterior. This is also incorporating our rhomboids, and it's really important to have a neutral neck as you practice these moves. We're not trying to go too far down. We want a good controlled movement. We're not testing range of motion. The side plank clamshell. Now, I think in my last video, I talked about this move. So if you want the full breakdown, go check that out after this video. But we are incorporating not only our core, but we're incorporating our legs and our glutes. And I love this move because we are using our body weight to press against the mat and lift ourselves up, really incorporating that glute activation. But not only activation, but hypertrophy. Something else we can do when we don't have any weights is we can modify moves that are maybe supposed to be bilateral and changing them to unilateral. When we work on one leg or one side at a time, we are adding the intensity. So I love a split squat. I love walking lunges. If you want to add intensity to this, you could find a plate, like a barbell plate. You could find a dictionary. I'm so sorry, that's the only thick book that I can think of right now. And you could find, if you have a step or a literal stair, even if you have one stair, that's all you need. You could have one foot, your front foot, on that stair, giving your glute a greater range of motion. And that's a great way to add something to this move if you don't have dumbbells. All right, I hope that you enjoyed that. It would mean a lot if you liked this video and hit that subscribe button. It really will help me get to a place where I can do this for you all the time and I can do even more videos. If you have any questions, I am going to do a full follow along video on my Patreon, and I'm going to be going over all of these moves, the reps, and the tempo. So maybe I will see you there. If not, I'll see you for my next video. Bye.